Welcome to Effortless Cooking, where we make cooking effortless. Today's menu, we got chicken Parmesan. Let's get into the ingredients. So we're going to be needing some flour, a cup of breadcrumbs, a jar of tomato sauce, 2 eggs, Italian seasoning, black pepper, salt, and 2 full chicken breasts, and 1/3 of a cup of vegetable oil. Now guys, you want to grab one of your chicken breasts and just cut along the chicken breast itself, horizontally of course. You want about 1/3 of an inch as far as the thickness goes on the chicken breast. So just go ahead and run your knife through it very carefully. And once you do, we're actually going ahead and actually thin these out even more. Alright, so we're going to place these actually in a Ziploc bag. And once you do place them in the Ziploc bag, we're going to go ahead and use a mallet, preferably if you have a metal one. It's a lot heavier. A wooden one will work. If you don't have a mallet, guys, you can also use a heavy pan. Or if not, if you really don't even have a heavy pan, you can even go as far as getting a brick, wrapping it in aluminum foil, and using that. Alright guys, so what you want to do is you want to go ahead and tenderize it and thin it out as much as possible to your liking. It's pretty much preference, it's pretty much choice. Once you do, we're gonna go ahead and get ready to coat our chicken. So go ahead and crack an egg. You want to whisk the egg really well, guys. That's really important. You don't want to eat clumps of egg while you're frying this stuff. Alright, so once you do that, we're gonna go ahead and grab our black pepper, and we're gonna actually put black pepper in the egg, the flour, and the breadcrumbs. And the reason you do that is because when you're frying in a good amount of oil, what tends to happen is the crust around the chicken or whatever meat you're cooking, a lot of that crust actually falls down to the bottom of the pan, and that's why you get black oil. It's from the flour that's actually being dropped on the pan. So you want to go ahead and actually season it very well. Make sure it's very well seasoned so it can actually stick to the crust. Alright, once you actually have the Italian seasoning and the pepper in there, you want to mix it up. And first we're going to get our chicken cutlet, and we're going to run it through the flour first. And this is very important, guys. What's happening with that, it's you're taking away the moisture. So you want it pretty much as dry as possible. Then you're going to dip it in the egg. You want to coat it very well on both sides. Make sure both sides are coated. And then we're going to go ahead and just throw it in the breadcrumbs and coat it very well. Make sure every single part of the chicken is very well coated. Alright. Once you have that, ideally this is exactly what you want it to look like. And just to remind you guys, this is a really easy recipe. This literally took me no more than 30 minutes to make the whole meal. While I'm actually making this meal, I got the spaghetti going at the same time. Alright, so that's all the chicken once it's all been breaded and coated. Now grab you a cast iron skillet. You really want to use a cast iron skillet, and the reason you want to use a cast iron is because it has a heavy bottom, so the transfer of heat is not so great. And that's exactly what we want, because we don't want the bottom of the pan getting too hot, and then it's gonna brown the chicken and not cook the middle of the chicken. So you want to use a cast iron. Now if you use a regular pan, you just want to turn the heat down a little bit, and you want to use a little less oil. But once the oil is actually ready and hot, just go ahead and cook the chicken on one side. It'll probably take about 5 to 7 minutes depending on the thickness of the chicken for each side to cook. But once you actually are ready to flip them, you guys see here, mine's are ready to flip. They actually got great color, and that's exactly how you want them to look. You want that nice crispy golden crust on these chicken breasts. And there we go. This is my first batch, and I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a close-up. You guys, this is exactly how you want the chicken to look, nice and crispy. We'll give you in on a little secret. That piece that I just took out right now did not even make it to the plate. That's how good it was. It was just too good. Sorry guys, it's a secret. We can keep that between you and I. No one has to know. But yeah, this is that's my chicken breast, by the way, guys. And this is just what I did was just get some French bread, cut it down the middle, drizzled it with olive oil, hit it with some Parmesan cheese and some of that Italian seasoning, threw it in the oven, 375 for about 8 minutes. Now with the chicken breast, guys, once they're all done and nice and cooled down, you want to get any kind of tomato sauce that you like. I'm using a rustic classic tomato sauce. And you want to put it on top of the chicken breast. And you want to go ahead and spread it out like if it were pizza. Alright. Once you have them all covered in the tomato sauce, you want to go ahead and hit it with that Parmesan cheese. Now, usually I don't like using this Parmesan cheese because it doesn't really taste as flavorful, but that's all I had on hand. But if you guys have fresh Parmesan cheese, that'll work even better. But you want to go ahead and put cheese on all of the chicken breast. And once you have that, just preheat the oven to 375. And we're going to put them in the oven just long enough for the cheese to melt. And that's all you want to do. You just want the cheese to melt. Once the cheese is melted, we're ready to plate. Just put your chicken on the plate. Serve it up with some spaghetti. Make sure you get some of that nice bread that we made in the oven. And I like to actually sprinkle a little bit of cilantro on top of mine. This gives it a nice little color. Well, there you guys have it. That's it. It's the recipe. Make sure you guys check me out. Click on the links below. Give me a like and subscribe. Alright guys, welcome to another episode of Effortless Cooking, where we try to make cooking effortless. So today we're going to be making some fajita chicken pepper tostadas. Personal favorite of mine. So we're going to need some tostadas, some peppers, some mozzarella, some onions,